All right, let's welcome in Bob Fitzgerald, play-by-play man for the Golden State Warriors, NBC Sports Bay Area. You can hear him. You can hear him propping up Kalena Azubuike. I'm just kidding. What's up, Bob? How you doing?
Fitz? What's up, guys? How are you?
We're doing pretty well. Just give us some of your thoughts on the Warriors' 4-1 start.
Well, they've already got road wins, so that's a good sign. I know when the schedule came out, I kind of did are we really playing 8 games in 8 different cities? Like, is this really happening? And so we're halfway through, and the Warriors won the 3 road games, won the 1 home game, and then back on this road trip for the other 4. So, I kind of thought if they could be 4-5 or 5-4 the first 9, that would be great, and just kind of a survival thing. And, we'll see on, OKC tonight and then Cleveland, Detroit, and Denver. But, the chemistry and the camaraderie that was evident kind of in training camp and with the informal workouts where the guys got together in Vegas and L.A., that's totally carried over because this team's having so much fun. The one good thing about traveling early is that, the team dinners and the flights and a lot of fooling around, and you just see the personalities and see how people are interacting, and you're like, wow, this is I don't know if they're the best team in the league. There's a lot of teams, a lot of talent, but chemistry and cohesion-wise, they feel really good.
Always a pleasure, Fitz. And, with all my faults, the one thing that I do hang my hat on is I'm honest. And I got to tell you, when the news was announced that CP3 was coming into town, I was like, I don't know how he's going to take maybe coming off the bench. But to your point, I mean, he's done that and some, and it started before the season. What would you give me if I tell you, Fitz, I'm looking at these box scores, not just points, assists, and rebounds, but the minutes. I had to pour a drink in the non-Curry minutes years past. Now it feels like strength in numbers is like that's coming into focus again.
Well, I think you hit on it, Guru, is that, Steve Kerr sat everybody down and kind of did hey, we have 6 starters, okay? Now, everyone's not going to start because we have 6. One of you will not start. And then everyone's not going to finish. And so it's all got to be about getting the win. And I think that Chris Paul, bought into that because I think at this stage of his career, when you're older, you want to win. I mean, you don't want to be on some team that's middling. So you want to win, and he's smart enough to realize the combinations that allow them to win. And there are nights, like if you have Steph and Chris Paul playing together, the Warriors are very small. They're good offensively. They take care of the ball, and they got all kinds of Hall of Famers on the floor, but they're small. So if you're playing Milwaukee and they're trotting out Brook Lopez, Giannis, Bobby Portis, Jay Crowder, guys like that, you maybe can't play that small against certain lineups. And so it's going to be a night-by-night thing. And Steve set the tone on that. The guys all bought in. They had a meeting of those 6 guys with Steve. And so it's been great. And so I think the one thing, and the media does this, you guys don't because you both know basketball, but this whole, who's starting, who's not starting. Like, Zaza Pachulia started on Warrior Championship team, so we all love Zaza. He never finished any of those games by and large. So the who starts thing didn't affect John Havlicek or Manu Ginobili or any of those guys. So, do you play enough minutes? Do you matter? Do you contribute to winning? And I think that's kind of the mindset of all the guys on the team right now.
Bob Fitzgerald joining us on 95.7 The Game. You can hear him tonight. Warriors take on the Oklahoma City Thunder at 5 o'clock. He and Kalena Azubuike will have a call. Let me ask you about Klay Thompson. Obviously, he didn't get an extension this offseason, and he's going to be a free agent. Not that he's necessarily leaving here, but you know how it is in a contract year, Bob. And he got off to a bad start last year. But I was just telling Goo, I like his approach so far through 5 games. He's not trying to do too much. I think he's also having to adjust to playing bigger guys, which, may be a little adjustment period. But I thought last year, for the first time in his career, he hurt the Warriors a little more than he ever has. But the first 5 games here, I kind of like the way he's playing, actually.
Yeah, I think the thing is, Klay last year, a little bit up and down at times, but he still led the NBA in threes made. And when Steph was out and Wiggins was out, Klay kind of handled things. Like, he kept them afloat and hit a lot of big shots and really, still coming off the Achilles and the knee. I thought what he did leading the NBA in threes was really remarkable. So, yeah, the contract stuff, I'm telling you, like, the Warriors get this, Draymond played all last year and got his contract in the summer. And Klay and Steve Kerr are, going to get contracts. Like, that's likely going to happen. But when it happens, there's no deadline, by the way. I mean, they could decide to do it, whenever they want. So it gets into years and dollars. And then, the Warriors have to be forward thinking on how they want to keep this group together and things like that. But, man, there's going to be statues in front of Chase Center. And I'm personally pulling for Steph, Klay, and Draymond to retire as Warriors and break the Spurs record of 3 guys that are together for 15 years. The Warriors guys have been together 12. That's the second best trio. The Spurs, they were together 14. I want all 3 of them to be 15 or more and retire together. I don't write the checks, but that's kind of what I'm pulling for. To your point, Matt, with playing, is that the thirstiness to score, like, my impact is to score, like, let it come to you a little bit. And I think that's what Klay's doing a better job of is, I got Chris Paul and Steph and all the attention and, they're going to throw it to these guys. I got Draymond back now in terms of passing. I'm going to get my shots. I'm going to take good shots. I'm going to be Klay Thompson. I'm going to help the team. And then defensively, they're asking him a lot. You're right. When they play small, he's got to guard bigger guys, but Klay's strong and he's very proud. And the idea that he's going to just tip over or roll over defensively, no way. I think he's just an ultimate competitor, and I think he still plays at a very high level, and the Warriors are very fortunate to have him.
Fitz, speaking of proud, Steiny and I, we have a lot of fun on the show. And a couple years ago when the Warriors were playing Dallas in the Western Conference Finals, young Moses Moody got an opportunity. And I wasn't telling Steiny he's a superstar, but I like what Moses brings to, upstairs inside, the IQ, and physically he's a piece. Can you just talk about what you've seen from Moses Moody? Because Fitz, I feel like this guy, again, he's not Steph Curry. They're not asking him to be that, but this dude is gifted in some areas, and he can help you win.
100%. And to me, I'm a diehard Moody fan just because of who he is as a person. But if you go back to last March and start looking at the three-point percentage, March, April, into the playoffs, preseason, beginning of this year, like he's shooting almost 50% on threes, and we're getting to like 80, 90 attempts. Like it's not just a one-off. And it's super hard, like a pinch hitter in baseball, to be 1 of 2 on threes, 2 of 3 on threes. Like he's not taking 10 or 11 in a game. So you see the athleticism, you see the definite awareness on defense, you see the cold-blooded three-point shooting. I think he's taken a leap. I think Kuminga's taken a leap, and I think they'll be needed. I think they're going to be needed. I mean, the Warriors are an old team in terms of the mileage on these guys, and so as the season wears on and you're trying to get through that 82, you need some of those fresher, younger legs, and I think Moody and Kuminga, along with Trace Jackson-Davis and Podziemski, are great, perfectly suited to jump in like they did in the New Orleans game and play big minutes and help you win a game.
Bob Fitzgerald joining us on 95.7 The Game. You can hear him on NBC Sports Bay Area tonight when the Warriors take on the Oklahoma City Thunder. Bob, I know it's early. We've only played 5 games, but I'm just looking at the guys who are hurt and not playing, and I know Adam Silver's trying to implement more incentive for these guys to play more games, but how do we I see Steve Kerr even said he'd love a 70-ish game season, but how do we get our guys, and I say our guys because it's our league, how do we get them to play more?
I wrestle with this all the time, Matt. The one thing that the owners say that I'm just not on board with, and I'd be much more in Steve's camp, is I think 72 games is the number. 30 games against the East, 1 home and away. 3 games against every team in the West. That's 42. 42 plus 30 is 72 games. You give me 72 games, that's plenty to decide which teams are good, but it's the 10 that the guys miss anyway. So, the way I would have done it is, look, you all have your contracts for the season, but now it's a 72-game season. But it's all the teams want 5 extra home games, and I mean, I live in the real world, so I know the money side of it. But I look at Michael Jordan at 40 years of age, played all 82 games. I don't want anybody to play injured. That's stupid. You know, these guys have great careers and the whole bit. Like, injured, no one's asked you to play injured. But after the first week of any pro season, nobody feels great. So, you know, you're banged up, oh, my shoulder's a little bruised, whatever. There's a mental toughness and there's a want to perform that the elite players really have. And I think, you know, on the back-to-backs and, you know, over the recent years, it became kind of cool to sit out. And I don't think it's a disservice. I think when you cheat the game, man, it comes back and bites you. So, Steph wants to play. Klay wants to play. Like, give me those guys. You know, and Jordan is my touchstone for everything. It'd be a Tuesday night in Vancouver, and, you know, he would have played, 5 games in 8 days. And he's like, no, someone saved all their money to bring their kids to see me one time. Wow. You know, I want to play. And then also I'm going to play well just so they know the legend is real. You know, and like, give me that, man. I mean, that's give me that. And that's, they're doing it. Joe Dumars is doing it. Hey, it's an 82-game season. If you're not injured, man, I want you to play. And even on the teams like the load management, don't play 35 minutes then, play 20 minutes, but at least play. So that would be kind of my, you know, as someone who loves the game and loves these players and loves where the league is, it's just at its best when all the best players play.
Oh, man, that's 100, Fitz. Before you go, man, I feel like we're brothers, so I got to share this with you. Steiny's going to kill me for it. But I got to tell you my Steph Curry story. 2 weeks ago, we're doing the show from Chase, and I'm on the street, Fitz, walking into Chase Arena, and who do I see? Curry coming down the street. He's on the phone. So, you know, I'm no groupie, Fitz. And I said, you know what? I'll catch him next time. My guy stops, says, hold on to whoever he's talking to. We exchange pleasantries, and he snaps a photo with me. And Fitz, that made my day and my week, man. But there's nobody like the chef to take a snapshot with your boy.
Man. Now
I had to share it with you.
Did he say, are you Rod Brooks, or did he know who you were?
No, I'm not that skinny. I'm on the soda weight loss, but I ain't that skinny. But he asked where we working there today. But my boss goes, you know what? I wonder if LeBron, no dig at LeBron or anybody else, would have stopped and took that photo. But anyway, the chef's playing good basketball too.
No, well, I mean, Steph Curry, it's not anything you guys don't know, the Bay doesn't know.
Yeah, man.
Like, our joke with the franchise, all the speaking things I do and the charity stuff, and I did a bunch of stuff with Steph this summer, is, you know, people like, is Steph Curry that good? You know, and it's like, no, he's better. Like, as a player, a person, the whole, like, he's better. However good you think he is, he's, as a dude, he's better.
Hey,
we all should try to be Steph Curry.
There you go.
In everything we do in our own little roles in life. Try to put your best foot forward to beat Steph anytime you can. So that's the way to do it.
Yeah, we can't, Bob. There's only one Steph.
There's only one Steph.
That's why he's Hey, I know what I wanted to ask you. I know you're a big college football team. What do you, college football fan, especially in the Midwest, what do you think of this witch hunt going on at Michigan?
You know, when Harbaugh's just blatantly cheating in every area, you know, finally the chickens are coming home to roost. I'll tell you the thing nobody brings up. Why is Michigan playing 8 home games and they have their schedule strength is 111th? I mean, what are they, Larry Holmes? They're just ducking anybody that could punch back? What a joke.
Yeah, I want to know why
Harbaugh's going to the NFL because he just saw that USC is his first opponent next year. He's like, oh, God, we don't want to play a real non-conference game. Let's get out of here. So, now Michigan's been great the last couple of years. You got to give it up to them. But your sign stealing, your illegal recruiting, your coaches getting suspended, like, what's going on, Michigan? Like, you know, are they joining the SEC? Because it seems like they're going by all the SEC football practices.
I got to do this too.
I wanted to tee him up because I got to.
Can you give us the last 3 games, your synopsis of Brock Purdy in the last 3? Fitz, are you shocked or is nothing to see here?
Brock Purdy is still excellent. I don't think the concussion thing helped. And I think that in the grand pullback, remember, he still hasn't even played 20 football games. You know, so here's my thing with the Niners. If Fred Warner's still with you, then I'm with you. Because Fred Warner is my guy. And so he said, hey, you know, do we need to take care of the football a little bit more? Sure. But Fred Warner's riding with Purdy all day. So's Trent Williams, all the leaders on that team. So am I. That's the way I would leave it at that.
All right, Fitz.
Take it easy,
Appreciate it as always, buddy.
Hey, great talking to you guys. And Guru, if I see you on the street, I may wave, but I'm not stopping to take a picture.
All right, Fitz. Stay off the internet. We know how you do it, Fitz. All right, baby.
See you guys.